A meeting of the Green Bay Area School Board tonight brought out a huge crowd of supporters for Dr. Claude Tiller Jr., demanding he be reinstated as district superintendent.
Tiller resigned recently after being caught on a hot mic making controversial comments to an Atlanta radio show host during a recruiting trip there. Jason Zimmerman was at the meeting as people spoke up. He's live in the newsroom with more. Jason.
Bill, a lot of the people said tonight this is a fight which is not going away. Some threatened the board with a recall, and others said bringing the former superintendent back is just the first step in making things right. In a packed meeting of the Green Bay Area School Board, one person after another spoke out, making a very specific demand regarding former school superintendent Dr. Claude Tiller Jr.
We urge you to consider the impact of this decision on the student's future, and we demand the reinstating of Dr. Tiller immediately.
While Tiller's reinstatement was not on the agenda Monday night, the school board did go into closed session to discuss the interim superintendent position, but did not take any action.
When we have leaders like Dr. Claude Tiller in our space, in our positions of leadership, who understand what the root causes of all the inequities are, it's time we keep them. My ask and my demand is that you reinstate Dr. Claude Tiller and do not waste any further tax dollars on thinking that somebody else is the best person to lead our Green Bay Area Public School District.
Much of the concern comes from how the district handled the situation and the transparency of it. Some at the meeting say the video of Tiller should have been made public prior to accepting his resignation. In response, the district issued a statement saying, quote, neither the Board of Education nor district leadership requested that the video be removed from social media. The district was unable to release the video until a set number of days had passed, in accordance with public record laws that require informing impacted employees, end quote.
We're not here today to say that this is about misinformation. This is about how Dr. Tiller was treated as the first black superintendent in this school district.
And a petition to reinstate Tiller is also going around. So far, it has more than 1,000 signatures. Bill and Cammie, back to you.